What's up, guys? This is the Philosophical Doomer, aka Luclinia, and what I want to talk about today is like how time goes by so fast. How life kind of just passes us by. Like 2 years ago, I just started my automotive program, and it's I'm finished my classes for this semester. And this semester was rough because I had, I had the engine performance class. That was kind of easy. All the automotive classes are pretty easy. When it comes to the schoolwork, the only problem I have with the automotive classes is actually when we do the labs and stuff like that. It's not really a problem. It's just that I might be the slowest one. Well, my group might be the slowest or whatever. We still get it done though. But I had 3 writing classes. I had that political science class. That was all we did was write. And I had that English 102 class. That was a writing class. And I had that environmental conservation class. That was also a writing class. So this semester was pretty rough. And I don't like writing. So this semester was pretty rough. And I'm just thinking to myself, I only have one more class left. Matter of fact, I only have one more class left. After I have to go back next summer to finish this next class. And it's once I'm finished that next class, I'm I graduate. I'm done. I get my degree. And and for the past couple weeks I've been kind of sitting there thinking to myself damn, that's it. It's over that fast. Those 2 years was nothing. It was, and I kind of felt depressed because I'm well, damn, after I get my degree is the only thing I have to look forward to is work. That's it. And I kind of got a little bit depressed. It kind of reminded me when I got my GED. I'll make another video about because I am a high school dropout. I dropped out in the 9th grade. I'll make a whole nother video on my high school experience and why I dropped out and everything like that. But I'm just over here thinking to myself for the past couple of weeks, since my classes have ended, damn, that's it. And I kind of was talking to my mom about that's all I have to look forward to is work. And she pretty much was yup, pretty much it. And I'm no, that can't be it. That can't be it. I know, I'm going to be working. Working in the industry. I do have a job. Working in the industry. When I say working, that's what I meant. Working in the industry as a tech, as a mechanic. But I'm that's the only thing I'm going to be able to look for. I was that can't be it. And I remember, looking at Turo, and you have multiple different you have many different people on Turo that have they pretty much build up their fleet. They have they started off with 1 car, 2 cars, and then build entire fleets of 30, 50, 60 cars. And some of these people that's using Turo, they claim that they're making $30K a month, $40K a month, $50K a month. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking about doing that, since I'm already in the industry or whatever, the mechanic industry. I'm going to be fixing cars. I might as well, work and then save the money I can, buy some cars off the lot, fix them up, and then run them out on Turo. And then, see how that works out or whatever like that. Originally, I wanted to be a real estate investor. I think I said this in the previous video. I wanted to be a real estate investor. I always had dreams about becoming a real estate investor ever since I found out that my grandfather was our landlord. I think I found that out probably probably 8. What is it? No. Yeah. So probably 8 or 9, somewhere around that age. Yeah. So before my mom actually started renting from a house, my mother was renting from an apartment, and at the time I was a toddler or whatever like that. And my grandfather, he came into like, well, my grandfather, well, according to my my father, his father was always always had fucking money or whatever like that. I don't know if they were having some I think they were doing like a lot of illegal shit, because my father says that my grandmother showed my grandfather how to play numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I think he was doing like a whole lot of like illegal stuff, because he was saying that my father was saying that my grandmother's allowance was like $2,000 a week, and this is like back in like the 70s and 80s. But my grandfather, he came into even more money when his mother died. The hospital, his mother died in the hospital, and basically my grandfather and his siblings found out that the hospital was responsible, and they put a big lawsuit against the hospital and got all this money. You know what I'm saying? So from that money, my grandfather, he had like a trunking company, he had a boxing gym, he had a bar, and he had he had a couple like rental properties or whatever like that. And one of the rental properties, my mother looked out for him. My mother looked out for him by taking care of one of his sons, one of my uncles at the time. He didn't have anywhere. My uncle, he didn't have anywhere to go. So my mother pretty much took him in and took care of him, whatever like that. So my grandfather pretty much like looked out for her, because she looked out for him when my uncle didn't have anywhere to go. So he pretty much like allowed her to become a tenant in one of his houses. So that was like the first time my mother was like renting from a house, and it was like my grandfather. Like once I learned that like people can own houses and they can pretty much rent them out and make money off of them, that's what I wanted to do. Like I remember being like 8 or 9 years old and like walking to school, and like, because I used to always walk to school late, and I used to be like looking at the houses all along the block, and I'm like, one day I want to own this whole block, I want to own these houses, I want to rent them out. That's what I wanted to do. And I remember when I first told my mother that, she pretty much was like, you need to be rich to do that. And I was like, well, you got to be rich to do that. And I found out later when I actually started like buying books and reading books when I was around like 14 or 15 that you don't well, in today's economy you probably need to be nearly rich in order to do that, but back then you didn't need to be rich in order to do that. You could build yourself up slowly but surely, like anything else. And I pretty much gave up on that. Like back in my early 20s, I tried to do like wholesaling, but like it was terrible. I was like cold calling people and shit. It was like really like nerve wracking to like call somebody and try to like build rapport with like somebody you don't like know over the phone. Like it was terrible. And the guy who was kind of like, because at first I was just like, I googled some like, because I forgot what I put in Google. I put something about real estate in the Google, and all these numbers popped up, and I was pretty much contacting all these different like people that were in real estate, and I was pretty much telling them like, hey, listen, I'm a new wholesaler or whatever like that. I'm trying to get into the real estate business. I'm a new wholesaler, and they pretty much was like giving me advice, like go there, do this. And then one of the dudes, I called him up, and he was like, like he would like chaperone me or whatever like that, and he was chaperoning me, and it was all right for a while. But after a while, I guess he figured out that I wasn't exactly picking up everything he was putting down. You know what I'm saying? So me and him had some me and him was like beginning to like butt heads or whatever like that. And like I said before, like the cold calling was kind of like fucking, it was nerve wracking. So I tried to do that, but like I never really wanted to do like wholesaling anyway. Wholesaling is kind of like, if you don't know what wholesaling is, so like if, in real estate you have like a purchase agreement or whatever like that. That's the agreement you use to purchase the property. And in that purchase agreement you have the assignment clause. And basically what that assignment clause allows you to do is it allows you to sell your position in the contract to somebody else for a small fee. Right, so basically, as a wholesaler, what you're doing is you got to go out there and you got to create good deals. You got to look for good properties. You know what I'm saying? And you have to pretty much negotiate with the person who's selling that property. You have to negotiate the terms and all that stuff like that. and depending on the terms that you negotiated is going to determine whether the you gotta get the price down, what I'm saying, have incentives and shit like that in there, and depending on the negotiation terms, that's going to determine if the good's a good deal or a great deal or a bad deal. And what you're trying to do is you have to go to, well, not necessarily go, but you should try to build up a clientele of buyers, of property buyers, and different buyers, they're looking for different things, because some people are flippers and then some people are buy and holders. They buy property, hold it, and then rent it out. So they're looking for something. They might be looking for a specific type of house or in a specific type of area. So if you want to do the wholesale, you need to look for buyers or whatever. And so based off that deal, you can pretty much sell somebody your position, the contract, for like a small fee, like $5,000 or something like that. You can pretty much sell them, and pretty much once you sell them your position in the contract or whatever like that, they pretty much have your position in the contract or whatever like that, but you still have to be there. I believe you still have to be there at closing or whatever like that, because you assigned your position in the contract to that other person. I think just to like clear a whole bunch of things off and to actually go over the contract with the seller and the buyer or whatever like that, because you're now the middleman. You know what I'm saying? And when you're wholesaling real estate, that's pretty much what you are. You pretty much are the middleman. And like I had a little taste of like the wholesaling thing, and I really didn't like it. But like I didn't want to wholesale though. I didn't. But that's like one of the ways to like start out if you really have no capital. And you really can't put any skin in the game. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the ways to start out. But I always wanted to like buy property and then rent it out. And everybody I always talked to, they always talked about like, don't rent out property. Or if you rent out property, like go through a real estate, or go through what's that part? Section 8. Section 8 is not even, well, Section 8 is still around, but it's not, because President Trump is not even as good as it used to be. But you do have Section 8 landlords out here, and they used to make a killing. I don't know how hard they got hit after Trump, after Trump pretty much like changed some things. But that was one of the plans, to be a Section 8 landlord. And but you have to have capital. You have to have some like skin in the game, and that was the plan originally to that's kind of why, like, when I was like 19 or 20, I was at CCP, and I was like looking at all these fucking classes, and I'm like, man, I don't want to take all these motherfucking classes, and then like I'm gonna have to go over to university and then take out loans, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do real estate, and I pretty much like left school or whatever like that in my early 20s, and I said I was going to come back to community, but like I didn't come back to community. I didn't come back until I was like 25, and like within that, I'll say when I was 20, like I literally, like when I went back home, because I was like, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna go back home, study, then come back to community. I was supposed to study my writing, and I was like, I'm gonna come back to community a better writer or whatever like that, so I could easily pass the writing classes. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like I really was kind of like holding off on doing those classes, because I really didn't want to do them. And what happened was I went home and I just pretty much like watched anime. I started writing stories or creating worlds. I watched a whole bunch of anime. I ate a whole bunch, and I just gained all this fucking weight. I gained a whole bunch of weight, and I think it was that root beer, man, because I love root beer. It was root beer and those cheesesteaks. You know what I'm saying? And hot sausages. You know what I'm saying? I would eat those 24/7. And I gained a whole bunch of weight in like 8 months or whatever like that. And I like one day, because like I didn't even like you want to talk about being a neat, like that was like a neat lifestyle. All I did was like stay in the house. Like I barely walked down the street, and I was getting all my food through like Uber Eats and like Grubhub and stuff like that. And like one day I go to walk outside, and it was like it was hard for me to walk down the block. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? My lower back kind of like was hurting me when I was walking down the block, and I had to sit down. Like I didn't realize how much weight I gained. Like I gained so much weight that it was hard for me to walk down the street. And that's kind of how I kind of started, like going to the gym, losing weight, and losing weight. And I think I went to the gym, and I was going to the gym for like 8 months, and then like in 2020, like COVID hit, and they shut down all the gyms. So, you know what I'm saying? I lost like 80 pounds. That I think I went on a tangent. I definitely went on a tangent, but yeah, I wanted to be a real estate investor, and my grandfather inspired me to be a real estate investor. I wanted to be a real estate investor, and I pretty much got it from my grandfather. My grandfather, because I found out that he was the landlord to the property, I wanted to be that. But I kind of like that was the plan. The plan was like to get regular jobs and then save up my money and then eventually start investing in real estate. But I had like a major problem. Like I couldn't keep jobs, and I think one of the main problems why I couldn't keep jobs was because like my time management skills are like fucking terrible. Like I have poor time management skills, and I kind of like when I'm on jobs, I kind of like I really don't want to work. I kind of like joke around too much or whatever like that, and I don't get shit done. And you know, after a while, I was like fine or whatever like that. But after a while, like it kind of starts to like catch up to you, and you're not really putting your all into the job because you really don't want to fucking work. You really don't want to fucking be there. I think that's like one of the fucking main reasons why I can't keep a job. You really don't want to work, so you don't move. You're not moving fast enough, or whatever like that. So that didn't work out. I wound up like fucking like for the fucking past like 3 years, you know, before I came back to CCP, I wound up fucking bouncing from like job to job. I only had a lot about like probably like 4 jobs, but I wound up bouncing from like job to job, and the longest job I had was like at fucking Wegmans. I think the only reason why I had that job for so long is because that was frozen, and you know most people really don't want to work in frozen or whatever like that. And like also those jobs don't. I mean, I was making some alright money from those jobs, but like some of those jobs, like Wegmans paid the least. Like every place I worked at before, like except for Amazon, paid more. Paid more than that, and I also got more hours. So I pretty much was like right when I was at Wegmans, and like around the time when I turned 25, I'm like, you know, these retail jobs aren't going to work. Like I think I need to go back to my original plan, and my original plan was when I first dropped out of school was to get like a trade, and pretty much because I wanted to get a trade because I wanted to be a real estate investor. So the trade I wanted to get was carpentry. You know what I'm saying? So I could go in there and I could fix up my own houses, and it would be cheaper. But I didn't like carpentry. It was too much cutting. It was too much measuring. And I think the saying was measure twice and cut once. And like I was like fucking up the pieces or whatever like that. Like carpenters measure everything. Not like mechanics. Mechanics do like measurements and stuff like that too, but yeah, you mainly only do like a lot of measurements as a mechanic when it comes to like the engine. When it comes to like the engine, you know what I'm saying, or like the transmission or whatever like that, you have all those different tight clearances and everything like that. That's when you're like you take out the micrometer or the vernier caliber, you know. You do some measuring, like when it comes to like measuring like the thickness of pads or whatever like that, seeing if they pass inspection, the run out of the rotor or whatever like that. You do like some measurements with those, but you mainly do measurements when it comes to like big parts, like, you know, big ticket items like the engine or like transmission or something like that. But like when you first starting off, a lot of it is like tires, oil changes, you know, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you really don't have to worry about too much about like the measuring and all that stuff like that. But I think I went on another tangent. But like the main thing is, where was I? I lost track of what I was talking about. Yeah, so the main thing, I wanted to be a carpenter so I can fix up my own houses, but I didn't like it. So like within the phase of me going from like 15 to like 20, I wanted to become a range of different things. I wanted to become I wanted to become an economist, and I wanted to become a mathematician, and then, you know, I mean, you know, I was just young. I was like I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I was just young. You really don't know like what you want to do, so you're going through many different things, and you're going through many different phases, right? And that's what I was going through. And eventually, I just like I said, I started working jobs or whatever like that. And then I was like 25 years old, and I was on the bus. I'm like, this retail shit is not working. Like this retail shit is not working. Like, I need something more secure. I need like a trade. So even if this goes back to one of my other videos, because I was thinking like what would I do if my mom dies? Like, what if my mom passes away tomorrow? Like, I would be on the streets. I would have nowhere else to live. Like, I need like a trade or something like that. I need something where even if I lose a job, I'm still building on it. I'm still improving on it. I need something where, so even if I don't have a job, I can still make some type of money off of it. I can still make some type of money off it on the streets, And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to get a trade, and I got into the automotive trade because, like I said in my past video, if I'm on the streets, I'm on my car breaks down, I know how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm on the streets, I might need, I can keep my tools in the back or whatever like that, and I might be able to make a little bit money here and there. You know what I'm saying? Working on somebody's car on the street. You know what I'm saying? So it was that to have a trade was, in my mind, it was something to fall back on. It was something like, okay, well, you know what? If I'm doing really, really bad and I ain't got nothing else, at least I know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I can fall back on it. Really, like, I never had any plans. I never truly had any plans on becoming a mechanic. And that's one of the reasons why I still have to kind of work on my driving, because I mean, if I had plans on becoming a mechanic, I would have had all that together. You know what I'm saying? But I have to really work on my driving. I've been trained, but it's just I have not been behind the wheel of a car in 4 years, so I have to really brush up on my driving. But the main thing is I never truly planned on becoming a mechanic, but this is where I am now. You know what I'm saying? I plan on becoming a mechanic now. I plan on fixing cars now. And instead of owning a rental property business, I plan to own a car rental company, a car rental business. That's the next step. That's the next move. You know what I'm saying? Buying cars from the lot, fixing them up, and then renting them off on Turo. And I'm pretty sure that the business structure is going to be pretty much different, because a car is a depreciating asset. Once you drive it off the lot, you put more miles on it, it depreciates in value. And a car is an appreciating asset. The more you hold it or whatever like that, it appreciates in value over time. So the business structure I'm pretty sure the business structure would be different. But that's what I plan to do. I plan to have a car rental company, rent out my own cars. I think I'm gonna start off with Turo and go for there, because it just can't be okay, I got one more class left, and then all it is just fucking work. All it is just no, it just cannot be that. It just can't be that. You have to, me personally, I have to have some type of goal. I have to be able to be working towards something, not just looking forward to work. Looking forward to work should just be a stepping stone. I think I should be building a business alongside of that. And that's my plans for the future. That's what I plan to do. Because I mean, it's damn, I only got one more class left, and these 2 years were nothing. These 2 years went by nothing. I'm damn, because when I first got into the program, I was 25, and I'm 27 now, and it's damn, man, these 2 years went by nothing. So after I'm finished this, all I have to look forward to is work. And I did take out some loans while I was at CCP, my first time taking out any loans at all. And the main reason why I took out the loans is because, one, I wanted the money. I just wanted the money. And then, two, I needed to really build up my credit, right? Because I never took out any loans, before. I never took out any loans. If I used financial aid before, I only used the grant. And I only used, some of the grant. I never really took out any loans. You know what I'm saying? So, my 2 years being at CCP now, this is the first time I ever been, taking out loans. You know what I'm saying? So, I pretty much have to... pay off those loans, so it'll probably be beneficial for me to start working in the industry and start building up my skills so I can start paying off those loans. And, I already built my credit up from taking out the loans. I just have to keep my credit where it's at, and then, build my credit up by, paying on my loans every month when I finish school. But I'm saying, like, the only thing I can't be I just can't be I just can't, like, work can't be the only thing that I'm looking forward to. Like, it has to be, like, something beyond that. It has to be something beyond that. And that's what I'm saying. I think I'm going to try, like, the Turo business. I think I'm going to try that. And see how that works out. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it does. Hopefully it does work out. And but like I said, like, I was just sitting here thinking, like, no, that can't be it. Like, I'm saying that can't be it. You have to have some type of, like, goal or something. Well, I have to have some type of goal or something, and that's pretty much what I plan to do. And this is the end of the video.